Going live. Going live. Going live. Starting. Okay, I think we're live. Hey guys, good morning to you. And good afternoon or good evening if you're joining us from the States or the UK. I hope you guys have a fabulous day so far. We've got more to cover today. So today is day 3 of the Lifestyle Accelerator 3-day challenge. And today we're going to talk about how you can deploy and scale your content machine. But before we do that, I want to actually go back to yesterday and talk a little bit about yesterday. So let me start my slide deck here. Pardon?
It's not 8 o'clock yet.
It is 8 o'clock on my watch. Yeah, well, my computer might be a little fast. Have we got anyone in the house?
That's a good thing. Is there anyone in the house?
Yay, I'm just fast. I just can't wait to keep going. But that's okay. I will keep going, and like yesterday, I will answer questions at the end. I think that's simpler because of the lag of the presentation. And before we go into the training today, I want to revisit organic step 2 from yesterday. Now, Deb made an important comment yesterday night in the group. She said that she felt quite overwhelmed with the actual presentation of the content page, the value bomb page. And I basically reminded her, and I'm really glad you did that, Deb, if you're watching this, because I have a feeling if you're overwhelmed by it, then many of you might be as well. So I want to make it super clear here. The content pages that you're going to create do not have to be as intricate as mine, okay? Because I've shown you some examples. Well, actually, haven't shown you examples, but I am showing you examples in module 3 inside the Persuasion Accelerator. So once you go through that module, you actually see some of my content pages. And you can see that I have not just the content piece, I also have related videos and other stuff there. That is because I have a lot of content. You know, I've been in business since 2004 and I've been creating amazing stuff since 2004. So I'm repurposing a lot of my content. I also got a lot of videos, and because I'm building trust with my Facebook Lives, it makes sense then to embed some of my previous Facebook Lives, which are now hosted on YouTube, because I'm repurposing them there, that I will embed some of them on the content page, okay? It's just to further my authority. But for you guys, if this is your first time doing that, just make it a simple blog page. That's all you need to do. Just make it a simple blog page. You can even just use your blog if you have a blog, okay? And then just drive people from your Facebook Lives via Messenger to one of these blog pages and make the content on these pages super, super good, okay? And then have a call to action at the bottom of these blogs that then redirects them to your vanity URL, which is the sales page to your Tripwire offer. Now, I've also given you guys a terms explained document on Google Docs. So I've put that in the comments section in yesterday's live, which you find in the Unit 3 area of the group. It's either that way or that way. And inside the document, I've kind of written down some of the common terms that I talk about all the time. And if I can think about anything else, then I will add that to the document. So you can actually go there anytime if something is still unclear, what I actually mean by this term. You know, what is a landing page? What is an opt-in page? So you can go and check that out, and then that should make things a little bit easier. So let's talk about the content machine that you're going to create with your 2-step, okay? How do you actually deploy and scale this content machine? So let's talk about one of the most important things, which is consistency. all right, you will struggle to build momentum if you're not consistently showing up. Now, when I talk about consistency, it's also not just doing your two-step. Like I mentioned yesterday, you're not just going to do two-step videos, you're going to sprinkle normal posts through your content machine, okay? And the content machine is basically everywhere that you show up right now. Now, I want to make this statement here. Do not feel the need to go and be present on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, on LinkedIn. It's impossible to do that for one person, honestly. I have a team who help me schedule my social media stuff, okay? So all I need to do is focus on creating the content. So I have the luxury that my team is taking whatever I've created and I throw it at them and I say, here, repurpose it. Put it on YouTube, put it on Instagram, yeah? Put it on LinkedIn. So my team has my back. But if you're doing this by yourself, it is almost impossible to juggle life's demands, to then trying to be present on all the social media channel and to actually then reply to all the comments and keeping everything flowing. So what I like you to focus on is one social media channel. And chances are, because you're here in Facebook, that channel is Facebook for you guys. And Facebook is an amazing channel to generate massive momentum. But you have to be consistent. So how do you do that? First of all, you make a commitment. You make a promise to yourself that you give this your everything for the next 90 days. You actually schedule these times into your diary. I'm a big fan of paper diaries, okay? I love my paper diaries. I struggle with Google Calendar. I hate it. And I'm a techie girl. I get with techie very well. Like tech and I get on very well. But Google Calendar, like I'm just a tactical person. I love writing in my diaries with my mechanical pencils. I'm in love with mechanical pencils. And there's just something amazing when you hold a pen in your hand and you actually doodle or you write things down and then you can actually manually tick it off as you do it, right? That gives me great pleasure and satisfaction. And it actually creates some sort of chemistry in your brain that then helps you stay connected to that commitment. So do your best, because try is not good enough. Do your best, like commit to 90 days and really do this with everything that you've got. Build it into your day so you can basically stick to the schedule. So work with your energy levels. If you're high energy in the mornings and you don't have little kids that you have to prepare for school, then maybe you want to do this in the morning. But if you have children that are in school age and you need to, get them out of bed, get them ready for school, pack their school lunches, see hubby off, whatever you need to do, then obviously the mornings will be very chaotic in your household. So maybe you can do this when the kids are at school or at nighttime. Maybe it just means that you need to dedicate half an hour a day to doing this at night, where that half an hour you may have wanted to sleep. Okay, maybe you have to get up half an hour earlier. Whatever it means, commit to it. And I promise you, if you do this consistently, you will see it come to fruition. But if you do a little bit now because you're excited right now, and then at the first hurdle you give up because it just is too hard, too overwhelming, then it's not going to work. And if it becomes overwhelming, just focus on the one step you need to do. Just the one step, okay? Do not try and chunk the whole elephant, like, the elephant's tail. Like, you don't want to eat the whole elephant in the one go. Just focus on start nibbling at his tail, and then a little bit more, and a little bit more. And that's how you can make it happen. Because usually what we tend to do is we're focusing on the big goal, and then we get so overwhelmed with everything we have to do, and then we give up. because we're overwhelmed. So I'm going to talk about this in a little bit more detail today as well. But now, the other thing you can do is time block. So block out several times during the week where you can work on your business undisturbed, without kids running in through the office door, without being distracted by family members. Just do your best. It's not always perfect, okay? But give it your best. Protect your space, protect your energy, protect your workspace. And if you're working from a kitchen bench because you don't have an office, try to include your family. Have a conversation with your family about how important this is for you, because if they support you in helping you generate more income, then you can support them in kind. Yeah? So do whatever you can to make this happen. The other thing you want to ask yourself is whether this is relevant. So if you're using Facebook, for example, is this the right media for your audience, right? For most of us it is, because everybody hangs out on Facebook. Is my message dialed in? Yeah? When I say is my message dialed in, it's is my message speaking to my ideal clients' fears, desires, dreams, worries, yeah, to their frustration? Do I talk about all of that so I grab her attention? So you need to ask yourself that all the time, not just now. Every time you post something, does this actually speak to her, right, or to him? When you're making your offer for your low-cost tripwire, you know, is it something that people actually want? And if you're not sure, come to the group. Let's brainstorm together. Like, honestly, never be afraid to ask questions. That's why you're here. That's why I'm here. I want to support you guys. And if you ask questions, I can do that. But if you don't, I can't. Because I cannot guess what you're suffering with. I cannot guess that you're sitting there in overwhelm today and you're too afraid to ask questions. And because of that, you're stuck and you're not doing the work. Okay, so please do not feel that you can never ask. This is a safe space. You can ask questions, you know, it's safe. And the other thing you can ask yourself, is my energy in alignment? So I think I touched on that yesterday. If you're not feeling up to it energetically, then just do it when you do feel up to it. But at the same time, remember that you made a commitment. So you gotta stick to the bargain. You got to stick to your promise to yourself, because otherwise you'll be out of integrity to yourself as well. So only post when you're energetically aligned. And the best way to do that is if you actually create your content in batch, which I'll share to you how you can do today. And then you can basically just pick something and pick a day or pick a time in the day when you know you want to go live, where you feel, you know, motivated, your mojo is high, you know, you're excited. So maybe that's in the morning or maybe that's at nighttime. It doesn't matter. As long as you are connected to your strength, your power, that is what matters, because that's what shines when you present. Yeah? So you need to mix your promo. Now, when I say promo, the promos are any posts like the two-step. Even so you're not selling anything up front, it's still a business post. So I consider this a promotion, okay? Excuse me. Mix your promos with question posts. A great way to see who's actually stalking you is to ask questions. I do that all the time, and I'm incredibly amused by the people that come out of the woodwork. I've got some really high-profile people watching my stuff, but they never comment on my stuff. They never comment, they never like, they never share. But when I ask a question, a lot of them come out of the woodwork. And I do this strategically because I want to know who's stalking me, who's watching. Yeah? And I also want to have an accurate gauge about whether my stuff is actually being seen, because Facebook tends to trick us into believing it's not. Right? So we put a Facebook Live out there and we might get 1 or 2 comments. And then we're like, oh, that didn't work. I suck. Yeah? Have you done that before? Yeah, pop a yes in the questions or in the comments. Yeah, I've done it and I still do it. And I have to remind myself it's not about me, it's about you guys. Yeah? I'm not showing up to have, to be patted on the back and to feel good. Of course, it makes us feel good when people comment and when they give us praise. Of course, because it speaks to our ego. But we have to remind ourselves that selling is serving. And if we're not serving, and if we put the focus on the expectation that what we should get back from serving, it's not going to work because our energy will be out of alignment. So always, always, always do your best to focus on being of service, not on what happens if I am of service. Will they actually like my post? Will they comment? That's not going to work because your energy will be wrong. And trust me, I've done that, okay, so I know. So ask questions, any question. It doesn't just have to be related to business. Ask silly questions like my post yesterday about the day before about the coronavirus. Go to my profile and check it out if you haven't seen it. It brings people out of the woodwork. And not everybody who comments is a business person, and that's fine too. And you can actually section your Facebook friends into business and into private. So if you don't want to show your Facebook business lives to your family, to your non-business friends, you can actually select that in the pull-down menu at the bottom right before you go live. I just go live to everyone. I honestly don't mind. My friends know, my family knows. They just ignore that. So I'm not worried too much about that. But if you're worried about it and you want to keep things private from family, then create a list, section your Facebook friends into lists, and then you can go live to only your business contacts. So you can ask questions, you can do a poll, which is a question. You can upload a funny picture and say, caption this. You can invite people to share their views, their opinions. People love giving you their opinion. We are just so self-centered as human beings. We just want to impress our opinion on everyone else. That's what we do, right? I'm a very opinionated person. So if somebody asks me for my opinion, I will give them my opinion. And sometimes I will give them my opinion without being asked, because that's just who I am. But I always try to do it with respect for the other person. And if they don't agree with me, I do it so respectfully, yeah? And that's how you mix things. So let's look at the ratio. So my suggestion is you do 3 question type posts, or the question type post can also be just you sharing a slice of life. If you want to share some of your lifestyle pictures or just musings, learnings, we're all comfortable in different levels with showing people behind the scenes posts. But your audiences want to see how you live. They want to see how, they don't just want to see the businesswoman you are. They want to see the mother, the sister, the grandmother, the traveler, the adventurist, the spiritual. Yeah, they want to see all aspects of you because they are like you. So when you show up and give them all aspects, you give them permission to be more safe in sharing their all aspects. Does that make sense? I hope I didn't confuse you there. So Facebook Lives are promotions too. And when I talk about Facebook Lives, they're the 2-step that I'm talking about here. And we've covered that yesterday. If you haven't seen yesterday's presentation, go back. It's in the Unit 3 section in the group. I think it's up there. You want to also share a snapshot of your whole life, like I mentioned, okay, not just your business. If you're not sure how to do that, just check out my profile and scroll through and see what sort of content I share, and use that as a guide, not as a have to, okay? Just let that inspire you, and maybe something will kind of fire in your neurons and go, oh, I could share this, or I could post about this, and then go and look at other people and see what they share, and Just do whatever feels right for you. It has to feel congruent to you. Yeah? Don't just module my stuff. Do whatever feels congruent and integrity for you. That's the main thing. That's really important. And do it when your energy is in alignment with your mojo. So people get inspired and excited by your content because you're inspired and excited as well. And be strategic. So the strategic is, again, ask questions. You're not sure whether your stuff is actually being seen. Just pop a question in there. Get people riled up about it. Make a statement. Do something that gets people commenting, and then put a Facebook Live out there. Okay, that's going to get the traffic happening as well. So moving on. Let's see here if that works. I've got a wee video here. So I want to talk about how to scale, how to create a habit, how to scale. So I'm just going to fast forward this, my little doodles, to here. Okay, so let me just pause the video for a second. So how do you create a habit? You've got 3 parts to creating a habit. You've got the cue, which is the inspiration. And then you've got the reward or rewards, and you've got the routine, right? So let's look at how this actually works. Because if we don't reward ourselves when we're trying to create habits, then we're not going to do the work. We are a species that need to be rewarded, right? Because if we don't give ourselves a pat on the shoulder and we're just slogging it out and slogging it out and slogging it out, we're not meant to do that. We're meant to have pleasure as well. So the rewards are the pleasure side. So the cue is as follows. You put yourself a time goal, right? I said to you guys, commit to this for 90 days. That could be your time goal. So 90 days from today or 90 days from tomorrow, where will you be? Ask yourself, where will you be after you have achieved this goal of having, let's say, you want to have the content machine humming, you want to have consistent engagement on your Facebook Lives, and you want to have amazing traction with your tripwire. So when is that date by which you have achieved that? Where will you be? Picture yourself. Will you be sitting at home, enjoying what's happening? Will you have rewarded yourself? Who else is around you, right? Is your family around you? Are you celebrating with some good business friends? Are you celebrating on the weekend? Are you sitting out on a deck drinking a glass of wine or tea or whatever? And what will you have achieved? What will you have achieved in those 3 months? So be super, super specific in the way you structure these goals, because you cannot create a habit if you're not specifically clear about what that would actually look like when you achieve it. Yeah? And the most important thing is, how will it make you feel? How will you feel when you achieve this? Will you feel elevated, excited, happy, successful? How will you feel? And how will you reward yourself for achieving this milestone? And you can reward yourself along the way. You don't have to wait until the 90 minutes are over. You can set yourself several milestones. Just like the customer journey that we looked at, make this a journey and set yourself some milestones along the way. And each milestone gives you a little reward. It could be a coffee date. It could be a weekend in a nice somewhere. It could be a massage. It could be an outing with your husband, a dinner, or with your wife. Will you love the reward? Because if you don't have an emotional attachment to that reward, if it doesn't absolutely make you feel amazing, then guess what happens? You're not going to form the habit. You're going to give up. Because the reward is not exciting enough for you to keep going. So if the reward doesn't make you excited, if you think about it in 2 weeks, then you need to change the reward. right? If it doesn't make you excited in 2 months from now, as you think about achieving that milestone, you need to change the reward. And that's why I'm suggesting that you use little milestone rewards, like a massage or a day visit to the spa or an outing with your girlfriend or whatever it is, yeah, that makes you happy. For me, it's cruises, yeah. For me, it's cruises. I love going cruising. So the routine is basically the behavior. So the cue, which is the trigger, that's the goal, and it's time specific, it's feeling specific, it's, position specific where you will be at a certain time, triggers the behavior, which means that's the action you take, which triggers the rewards along the milestone. So you achieve a milestone, you give yourself a reward, you keep going, it's a cycle, okay? And you write all of that down into your diary, onto a, post-it note, right? Into your journal. You write it down in a Google Documents. I don't care, as long as you feel an emotional attachment to it. That is the key. So here's it again in a visual. Okay. So make sure that you are emotionally attached to that goal. Because if you're not passionate about what you're doing, then why are you doing it? You have to feel passion and love and excitement for the work you do. I love, one of the other reasons I restructured my business is because I love teaching. I love doing this kind of stuff. I love it. It lights me up because I love creating things. And a lot of us love creating things. And the danger with that is that we keep stuck in a forever loop of creation and we're not taking stuff to the marketplace and we're not making sales. So that's why I restructured my business as well, because I want to create courses. So I'm creating my signature course now, and then I'm going to have another course and another course, and I have lots of little lower cost offers as well, because that's what I love to do, right? I don't necessarily get lit up anymore from coaching people one-on-one. I've done it for the last 8 or 9 years, and it's been great. But now I kind of moved on from that. And now I'm really excited by coaching. So the passion for one-on-one mentoring and coaching has kind of dissipated for me. So now I had to find a new way that gets me excited. Hence my transition into doing what I'm doing now. So if the passion has left your building, and you're no longer aligned with the service you offer, the product you offer, the program you offer, the people you serve, it's okay, right? Because we grow, we elevate, we grow all the time. It's human nature to want to grow. And that's why rich people always want more money. It's not to do with the money anymore. For most of them, it's to do with the personal growth that they feel. And as they become millionaires, they go, you know what, I love being a millionaire. It gives me an amazing lifestyle. I want to be a multimillionaire because it gives me more and I can do good in the community. So now I'm going to grow my business and myself, and then I'm going to be a multimillionaire. And so as we grow as people, our income grows with us. And I want to grow into the $1 million woman. I want to earn $1 million. I want to earn multiple $1 million, not because of the money, although the money is important too, but because of what I can do with the money and the extra lifestyle it will give me, which means I can fly first class. I can actually lay down flying from Australia to Europe. I don't have to sit like a sardine in with everyone else, right? I can afford those extra little luxuries, but I can also be incredibly generous with my money and build schools and donate money and give to people in need without having to worry about paying my bills. That's what it's all about. And it's about me becoming an even better person, growing into that person who deserves $1 million, a multiple $1 million. Yeah. That's what it's all about. So make sure there's passion, there is love, there is excitement in what you do. So let's look at the organic content machine. And if you have questions about what we've just covered, by all means, pop it in the comments. Like, I actually want to know from you guys, do you want to grow into that person that has that business that can give more to others, not just yourself? Is that important for you? Say hell yeah in the comments, please. Yeah, let me know. So the organic content machine, I've hinted on that to basically batch create your content. So what I'd like you to do, that's actually part of your homework, and we get into that, how you can capture these ideas. I want you to map 12 Facebook Live titles and the actual content following the promise of transformation, the POT formula. You know, the one we looked at yesterday. In the next 5 minutes, we go pulla, 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 and then the call to action either in the text or in the video. Yeah. So you want to map 12 of these, and I'm going to give you a document, like a Google spreadsheet, where it will kind of trigger you and you can record your inspiration as it comes to you. The other thing I want you to do, if you haven't already started doing that, start to create a swipe file of your best content. A swipe file is basically a container, a document, a folder, whatever works for you. I keep mine in a Google folder and on Google Documents, because then I can share it with my team. Yeah, I don't like Word. I hate it. And Word is a problem because if you send me a Word document on my Mac, it opens in Pages, and then when I share it and I edit it and I have to send it back to you, I have to export it as a Word document. It's a lot of extra hassle. So with the potential, keeping in mind the potential of having a team in the future, start using Google Drive and keep your stuff on Google Drive in folders. You know, organize them logically so you can find the stuff. I usually name my folders based on my product. And then when I need to put stuff in there, then I can find it when I need to search for it as well. So start creating a swipe file of your best content. So all the content that you already shared inside Facebook, maybe on YouTube, maybe on LinkedIn, maybe on Instagram, pay a student or pay your teenage son or daughter, give them a little bit of pocket money to go back and swipe. Swiping is copying, pasting, and putting it into a document on Google Drive. Yeah? And I just got one big document that's like, I don't know, hundreds of pages, where there's all my previous stuff that I've shared on social media. I've got not everything, but I got about 80% of it. And what this allows me to do now is to give my team instructions to say, you know what, I'd like you to repurpose my content. Every 90 days, the content machine kind of recycles. But as I put new Facebook Lives out there, that will be added to it. So essentially, you only need 90 days worth of content and you can recycle the whole lot, bar your Facebook Lives that you do the two-step, because that you got to keep going. But other than that, you can swipe your website content, you can swipe content from sales pages, you can swipe content from emails you've sent. And you can break these up into individual Facebook posts, Instagram posts, LinkedIn posts. And you have content for as long as you want. It's like you can recycle that over and over again, because guess what? People do not remember what you've posted 3 months ago. They don't. They barely remember what they posted yesterday. So it's always fresh and it's always of value. Let's talk about PODs, pods. Now, some of you might remember that I put a poll in the group here about 2 weeks ago, where I said, who here wants to create more engagement on Facebook and who here wants to do it on LinkedIn? And a lot of you put up their hands and said, me. Now, pods are small groups of like-minded women who commit to supporting you and vice versa. Now we're going to learn more about how this works next week. John is tasked to get in touch with every one of you who answered that call in the poll, and he will reach out to you via email. So the email you use to join the group is basically what we're going to contact you on, and we're going to talk about how this works. Okay, I don't want to get into it today, but basically we're going to support each other and we're going to help each other create massive momentum very, very quickly. So keep your eyes peeled next week. And I will make a post in the group to say, check your inbox, John's just been in touch. So let's talk about the path to freedom. But before we do, I'm going to just take a sip of water. If you got questions, please just ask, okay? I'll be looking at them after. But does everything so far make sense, guys? Are you following me? Am I confusing you? Is it clear? Let me know, please, in the comments so I can help you get unstuck if you're stuck or overwhelmed, okay? So the path to freedom is basically like this. Right now, where you are at with your business, with your life, that's your current reality. And it will be so tomorrow and the next day, etc., etc. But today, where are you at and where do you want to go? Yeah? Why is it so important for you to have this lifestyle business? How does it look like for you 12 months down the track? A great way to set goals, short-term and long-term, is to calculate the income that you want. So let's say in 5 years, you want to earn 500,000 a year. Yeah? So that's where you start. And how much, maybe you want to work, 20 hours a week, maximum. That's where you start. Now what you do is you break it down into 1, 2, 3, 4 years. So actually the 5-year goal becomes a 5-part plan or a 5-part goal. 1 part for every year. Usually people tend to overestimate how far they can go in a year and underestimate how far they can go in 5 years. But what you need to do is keep things realistic. So if your goal is to earn 500,000 in 5 years and work only 20 hours a week, then your 12 months goal might be 6 figures. Or it might be 80,000. Once you hit that first 6 figures, it's very easy to accelerate because you just scale your business. That's where you put systems and automations in place. But when you're not there, you tend to overestimate how much money you can make. So be cautious with the short-term goals, but at the same time, make it a big, hairy-ass goal so you actually reach for something. Yeah, I don't want you to be comfortable. I want you to get uncomfortable with your goal. So you want to calculate your income based on the 5-year goal. And then I also want you to calculate the time you work in your business based on the 5-year goal. And break that down into 12 months and maybe 3 years from now. Or if you want 12 months, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, and then 5 years. And then stick those goals on Post-it notes, yeah? Stick them on these Post-it notes, stick them somewhere close to your laptop, to your desktop, wherever your workspace is, and look at it every day, twice a day. Look at it in the morning when you wake up, when you first sit on your computer, and look at it at night before you go to bed. Because that's going to create an emotional charge for you. And that emotional charge will help you set those habits into place that we talked about before. Am I making sense? Yeah? So let's look at the path, right? The path with the percentages. So right now, what's your reality? What are your client numbers? What's your money situation? How are your emotions? How are you feeling? in your business? How much time freedom do you have? What is your relationship with your business? And how do you want everything to be 5 years from now? All of this. How many clients do you want? How much money do you want to make? How do you want to feel about it? How much time freedom do you want? What do you want your relationship with your business to be 5 years from now? And then 12 months from now, you might be 50% towards solid momentum. But the 50% is not necessarily 50% of your money goal from 5 years. So don't get that messed up, okay? Because that's where you would overcommit and have unrealistic expectations. Can you make 250 grand in a year if your 5-year goal is 500 grand? Yeah, of course you can. But for most people, it's unrealistic because most people don't take action consistently. Most people let themselves be overwhelmed and they make then the excuse of overwhelm stopping their business. Yeah? But if you're a doer, you take action, you commit to your goals over and over and over and over again, nothing should stop you from making your first 6 figures in the first 12 months. I've made 6 figures multiple times in less than 12 months. So it is possible, very much so. But I'm an action taker. I work, right? I'm a worker. And I have incredible focus. And I'm a visionary. I can see the big picture and I can break it down into minute steps. And I get overwhelmed, but I focus on the goal because I don't context switch and I batch create. So I'm very focused on working on my business for 4 hours at a time because otherwise I'm not going to get the work done because too many distractions happening. Yeah, I can make easily excuses. Oh, I'm tired, I can't be bothered, or oh, I want to play with the dogs if we're looking after dogs, or oh, let's just go to the beach, right? It's easy to make excuses. It's a lot harder to actually stick to the momentum and build that momentum. So that's basically kind of like how that would look like in 5 years as an overview. Right, so how do you actually get results? Basically, it's like this. You're now, you're wide awake, okay? You're in the wide awake state. I have awakened you. You're learning because you're here. You're watching this, you're taking action. Now, the next step is evolvement and transformation. So that happens when you consistently take action because the evolvement and transformation happens from implementing, from making the mistakes, from readjusting your direction, from keeping going despite setbacks, from not attaching any expectations to what you're doing, to just doing it because you want to have the results, but you also want to serve your people. And that is how you become that person that earns that money, that works 20 hours a week, that serves your ideal clients and makes their life much better. That's how you become. Yeah? Am I making sense? Let's look at the roadmap. So how does this actually look? I like this kind of road. It's kind of nifty. So first step is organic, the organic 2-step, which is, the awareness phase leads into the 2-step that we looked at yesterday. And once the PM messages start coming, which are your messenger messages, if you do this on Instagram, it's your DMs. And if you do it on LinkedIn, you can private message there as well. Same thing, different media. That's when you start building momentum, okay? And then people start visiting your sales page for the tripwire. That's when you start to make sales and you build a list of customers. Then in step 4, you nurture and serve that audience. Like here in this group, that's what I'm doing with you guys. I'm nurturing you, I'm giving you tons of service, tons of support, tons of teaching, right? If you do the work, you will see the results yourself. And that is what I do. I deliver results. I help you to get the results by learning, taking action, adjusting, committing, getting the result. But you have to do the work. I can't do it for you guys, right? I just know it works. And then step 5 is to optimize the machine. So optimize is, now I've got you in my group. What is the next step? What do I want to do with this group? Yeah, where does it lead? So that's your next sales process. That is where you basically, you know, when you go back to the customer journey that we looked at on the kind of mind map, where do you want to take them? You know, what is your second offer? What is your third offer? Maybe you have a fourth and a fifth offer. And then once that machine is dialed in, like I'm talking about this whole lifestyle business roadmap machine, then you scale and automate it. So then you can put Facebook ads towards it and drive more traffic to the front end and start, you know, attracting people who may not know so much about you. And that's how you do with retargeting a lookalike audience. So you retarget people who've bought your tripwire, create a lookalike audience, and then you send them to the sales page, because that's what's going to get you more sales very quickly. Yeah, and that's my next step in my business. I'm going to retarget a lookalike audience to get more people into the $7 group. That's my goal. Yeah. So that's basically how it looks like, and that's how it would look like for you. And that is going to lead you towards the freedom, because that's what's going to give you the money, the cash flow. And when you have a low-cost offer with a higher-end offer at the back end, and money comes in consistently, you have cash flow security. And if you can bring your cost of living below what your income is, you have financial freedom. And that's why John and I have financial freedom, and I'm not a millionaire, because we spend less for our cost of living than I make, right? That's the key. And that's why we purposely downgraded our life from living in a 4-bedroom house on the Gold Coast. That was nice, you know, having a really fancy car and a driveway, going to lunches twice a week and coffee dates pretty much 4 times a week. We spend an absolute fortune eating out, coffeeing out, you know, putting fuel in the car, driving around the Gold Coast, driving here, driving there. You know, and it's like, what the hell are we doing? It's great, but really, do we want that? No. We want to travel. We want adventure. We want to see new places. We want to live like the locals, which means you live cheaper than the tourists. And that is what we've been doing for almost 6 years now. And yes, we've been back in Australia for a year, but we purposely house sit so we don't have to pay the crazy rents on Airbnb, because I refuse to do that. I refuse to pay $3,000 a month for a place, and that's the going rates on Airbnb. So we transition into house sitting, which means we live rent-free. So I don't have to stress so much about my income, even if my business goes down a little. And I can still have an amazing lifestyle, and I can still be financially free, because I'm earning more than what I spend every month. And that is the key here, guys. That is something else you need to look at. So your homework is to map 12 Facebook Lives using the irresistible Facebook Live formula. I won't be able to, obviously I could click on it, but I will give you this link. I will pop that in the comment section below this training, so just have a look for my comment and then you will see it. And create or start creating a swipe file of your best content. So I would definitely recommend you outsource this, because it's very time consuming. Hire an admin, or pay your teenage daughter, or get a school student. You don't have to pay a lot of money for this, and you don't have to, you know, that doesn't have to drag out. You can hire somebody for a week to scan all of your stuff, and then it's done, yeah? And then join the pod when you get the invitation from John next week, to learn more about how this works, and then let us know if you're interested, and then we kick that off maybe the week after, yeah? And that's going to give your Facebook Lives traction, because you're going to get comments every day, you're going to get interaction, and everybody does it for everyone, and it's nice, right? So let me get out of the slides and see whether there is questions. Let's see here. Have we got any questions, my darling?
Dion has just asked one.
Yep.
What is retargeting your audience?
What is it?
What is retargeting your audience?
Retargeting is the best Facebook ad ever. Honestly, in a nutshell, retargeting is sending a Facebook ad, like showing a Facebook ad to people who have seen your content. So people who've been to your content page, to your value bomb page, and also people who have been to your website, people who have seen your Facebook Lives, people who have seen your Tripwire sales page, etc., etc. But there's a strategy behind it, and I'm not going to overwhelm you guys, because you're not going to do Facebook ads at this moment in time. You need to dial in your organic before you're ready for Facebook ads. The Facebook ad training will be inside the Persuasion Accelerator, but I'm not going to reveal that or put that up until you've gone through all 6 weeks, because there's a strategy behind that. Okay, I'm doing this purposely to protect you, to protect your energy, and also to stop you from getting even more overwhelmed than you already are. Okay, so the first step is go through the 3 days, implement. Start putting your Facebook Lives 2 steps out there, and do that consistently. Continue with the Persuasion Accelerator training to dial in your messaging and marketing, to actually put up your landing page, to put up your sales page, to write it, to design it. I'll show you how to do that inside the Persuasion Accelerator. Yeah? I will, however, put a quick training up on how to do the pixel. So I will create a separate section inside the Persuasion Accelerator where I show you how to install the pixel on your pages and how to create a pixel, because you need to do that as soon as you put your content pages together. So I will do that, and then everything else can wait. Okay? You don't have to worry about anything else just yet. And then once you have all of that done, you've gone through the 6-week course, you've done the 3 days here, you've started to implement, and you're consistently implementing, and you start to get sales organically for your Tripwire, and you start to get momentum organically, then you're ready to scale with Facebook ads. But only if you have the cash flow. Okay? If you make a couple of sales a month, charging $7, it's $14, you don't have the cash flow. You need to hone in the organic and get that really humming. And then once the organic is humming, then you can worry about scaling. Am I making sense, girls, ladies? Yeah? I want to protect you guys. I do not want you overwhelmed, because it's bad enough doing this. It's very, very overwhelming, and you just need to focus. That's the key. I'm just trying to see whether there's any more questions. Yes, you're overwhelmed. Yeah, it's natural. But Dion and everyone here, you're overwhelmed. It's okay. Just breathe. Follow my steps. Follow my steps. And to make it even easier for you guys, I want to share that with you. I just want to show that. Let me see whether I can go to that sheet here. So I'm going to go down here. This one here. I'm going to share this sheet with you. Let me just see whether you see that. Do you see this document here? So what I've done is I've created a checklist, okay? So basically, this is going to tell you these steps that you need to take. I'm walking you through everything you need to focus on step by step. And then you actually get rewards. I'm rewarding you for doing the work as well. So I got little gifts and things lined up for you, where I'm gonna, reward the people who take action and that is going to help you keep going. And the idea behind this is to keep you out of overwhelm. So I've got this big long ass document. Everything is explained. Step 1, step 2, step 3, then the phases, okay? So I'm actually laying it all out, what you need to do before you're ready to have mastered a phase. And then you go to the next phase, and then you go to the next phase, right? Everything is here. So I will share that inside the Persuasion Accelerator Hub with you, okay? So you have access to that document, and you can basically see what you need to focus on at every stage and every phase of the process. And that way, you don't have to worry about being overwhelmed. You just follow my lead. Just do the work. To focus on that one step, move to the next step. That's how you get results. Okay? Awesome. Yeah, Sarah feels overwhelmed. So it's same for you. Sarah, everyone here, it is overwhelming because I'm giving you guys a lot of stuff, a lot of information, and then I'm breaking it down, and now you have to take the action. And yes, it can be very overwhelming because we have shared a lot of content these past 3 days, a lot of new strategies, new information. So please just focus on the steps that I'm sharing in the checklist. And then if you do that, you know what you need to do. You do it, you master it, you get a little reward, you move to the next step. That's how you get results. And that's how you implement step by step without worrying about the big picture overwhelm. Okay? Just looking. Awesome. You're welcome, Leanne. Yeah, that's what you need, Sarah. Awesome. I'm really glad that's helpful. Yeah, it will help, honestly, because I don't want to overwhelm you guys. I want to empower you. So that's why I created this document, to empower you, so you can focus on what you need to do rather than everything in the one go, because that is very overwhelming. Cool. So that's it from me, ladies. I just want to say thank you once again for sticking with me these past 3 days and showing up. You guys are just, honestly, you're amazing. You make me proud. You can do this. You can do this. I know you can. Just focus on the little steps. Okay, so that document, that $7 group checklist, should become your biggest friend, right? Use that checklist every day if you have, and come and ask questions in the group if you're overwhelmed. If you want specific help with strategy, book a call with me. It's only $97 US, okay? You get lots of value, but just lean in on me in the group, right? Ask lots of questions, bring your homework, and keep doing it. Little baby steps every day. Rome wasn't built in a day. I know it's a lame, bloody analogy, but it's true. You can't build your business in a day. You can't chew the whole bloody strategy in a day, right? Baby steps. That's what it's at. Yeah, you're welcome, Dion. It's been my pleasure. Really has been. I'm really glad that you see the value. Yeah, worried about getting sales, some cash flow. Yeah, it's scary. When you're not earning money, it's very scary. I've been there, okay? And like I said, I had a really shitty year last year. The beginning of last year was amazing. I made a lot of money. And then the second half of last year was crap because I was betrayed by a really good friend. And it basically sent me into a really dark place. And as a result, I was hiding. And it affected my cash flow. It affected my business, right? So I had to crawl back out of that dark space and, stop worrying about the money. I always trust the universe that I will make money. I'm a big believer in manifesting and the power of manifesting because I'm a very good manifester. But when you are lacking the income and it's not coming in, of course you're afraid. It's like, holy crap, how am I going to pay the bills, right? It's very, very scary. But the best thing you can do for yourself is to trust the process and to do the work. And try not to worry too much. I know it's easier said than done. But every time that happened to me over the space of my 16 plus years in business, the few times I've experienced that kind of situation, I was in overwhelm. I was in a negative space for like 2 weeks. Well, last year I was a lot longer than 2 weeks. I was almost 6 months in that space. But usually it's 2 weeks and I'm in that space, and then I dig deep and I find that the faith that the universe will deliver. And whenever I connect with that faith and I start doing the work and I show up, magic happens. I make sales. And it happens very quickly, 2 weeks, honestly. And it's the energy alignment. I'm a big believer that we attract what we are. If our energy is dark, guess what happens? You attract darkness to you. If your energy is in fear, you exude that fear because you're afraid you're not making money. Guess what happens? You show up from a place of neediness, not from a place of service. Because you want, you want money. I need to pay the bills. So step into the place of service. Find that strength within you where you are showing up from service and you trust the universe that you will make a sale. And honestly, it works. It works. It works every time. And that sounds a bit woo-woo, but it's not. Because I'm not woo-woo. I'm very spiritual, but I'm not woo-woo. It just works. I know from personal experience, and I know from mentors and coaches, and I know from clients who have done the same thing. It works. Yeah, that's all I can say. Like, you have to experience it for yourself to know that it works, of course. So I just say trust yourself and connect with that faith that that the universe will deliver, as long as you have the right energy that goes out. Does that make sense? Yeah, I don't want to sound woo-woo-y, but you're extremely woo-woo. I get you. I love it. Yeah. Yes, the energy alignment is everything. Absolutely. Yeah, you guys can do this, and you've got each other here, and you've got me, right? I'm here to hold your back, to hold your hand, to support you as much as I can in this group. Yeah. So, yeah. Thank you. Thank you guys for trusting me. Thank you for being here. I love you all. You guys are amazing. And yeah, I'm gonna call it a day now, but thank you so much. I will be answering questions, and I promise to load the checklist into the Persuasion Accelerator. So I'll actually make it at the beginning, a special section before module 1, so you see it. Yeah. Okay, any questions, any feedback, any homework, let me know. And next week at the same time on Thursday, same time as these last 3 days, we'll meet for a coffee and wine chat, or you just drink water, or just get together, get to know each other. And that will be on Zoom, and it's in the events section already in the group if you want to have a look. Would love it if you can join me. You can bring questions, anything goes, okay? Anything. Business, non-business, I don't care. I just want to be there for you guys. Have a great day. Lots of love. You're amazing. You can totally do this. Baby steps all the way. Bye, guys.